But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic. We are going into the world of Marvel, and not really Marvel, but X-Men, which is Fox.
Marvel.
And it's interesting because it is rumored that there's Gambit details that tease the X-Men universe connections. And basically, it's a heist movie. It's another Channing Tatum heist movie. We first got Lucky Logan, or Logan Lucky. Now we get Gambit. And this is going to be really wordy, but I think it has to be read. This is via ScreenRant.com. Splash Report claims to have the exclusive details of the new script. And here's what it is. So Remy LeBeau, who's Channing Tatum, is on trial in New Orleans. He's considered a huge security risk. He flashbacks to almost 25 years before. Master thief Luke LeBeau runs into 8-year-old Gambit while doing a heist. Impressed by his skills, he offers to take the mutant orphan under his wings, raised alongside other strays he calls cousins. The teenage Gambit becomes the superstar of the Thief Guild. He encounters Bella Donna correct me, Badoro? Bellador? Bodero, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't see it. I think so.
Even when I was doing this before, I couldn't say that name right. But he runs into Belladonna Bodoro while on the run from the police. Sparks immediately fly between since Bella is also a fellow mutant. Their love is directly prohibited by both families since the Bodoro are sworn enemies of the LeBeau clan. Deciding to unite the two sides, Remy offers to have the two clans team up on a huge heist to profit both families. Of course, the whole plan goes awry, and in the chaos, Mary Ann Badoro shoots and kills Luke LeBeau. They jump back to 10 years later. Gambit is hired to do a job in Paris to steal something from the Louvre. It was apparently a test job to see if he still has it. His mysterious employer is revealed to be Nathaniel Essex, a.k.a. Mr. Sinister. He offers Gambit $40 million to recover a mysterious trunk that was stolen by the Badoro clan. It will be auctioned off during the yearly Thieves' Ball, where all the criminal organizations in the world meet up. It uses New Orleans Mardi Gras celebrations as a cover. Gambit decides to enlist a crew of mutants to pull off the seemingly impossible heists. Johnny, with all that being done, we got through the whole entire thing. There's nothing set in stone. This is kind of like, hey, this is what I'm hearing about the script. What would you think about this Gambit movie?
I think it'd be great. That's Gambit's alma mater. Is before he became part of the X-Men, he was a thief. Mm-hmm. He was part of the clan of Clan of Thieves?
Yeah.
The Guild of Thieves.
The Thief Guild.
The Thief Guild. He was part of the Thief Guild, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I think that'd be a great origin story type thing to go along with. And that really leads me to another thing is I like what Fox is doing with this because, as we talked about in other ones, Deadpool was just straight up comedy in a sense.
Yeah.
All of them have this underlying theme to their movie. And I think having a heist movie as the Gambit movie is a great idea because we had a westernish for Logan. Just kind of, to me, it was straight up comedy with a lot of action. For Deadpool,
it was a lot of satire too.
Satire, yeah. Well, that's Deadpool, right? Yeah. And then
naturally,
exactly. And then so if we get let's follow suit and give the movie kind of an underlying theme. Because that's what fits in with it. A heist movie, whatever else. The New Mutants we were talking about earlier is going to have a horror movie.
It was described as, and this was one we kind of shelved
for now.
It's supposed to be a haunted house movie with adolescent teenagers. Is what I believed it was. I'm gonna actually look up.
Ricky wants the quote again.
Well, not the quote, just the title, because the title had it in there, but that's going to have its own little thing as well.
Exactly.
It's going to be its own movie, its own theme.
It's going to have its own underlying genre or theme. I'll go with theme instead of genre.
And it was, where is it? Oh, as the website gives me, an ad. I'll find it. I'll basically find it. But
Yeah.
the thing is with this one, is it going to be, how much comedy do you think is going to be in there? Because the last time we saw a heist movie with Channing Tatum was Logan Lucky, and that had quite a fair amount of comedy. I mean, comedy's not going to be bad for a heist movie, but do you really tiptoe that? Like, where do you tiptoe that line?
I don't think it's going to be like as much comedy as like Deadpool per se, or even as much as Logan Lucky. Which, to be honest, did you think there was going to be more comedy than there was in there?
No, I
You
thought.
didn't.
I thought
set where it was.
I thought that it was going to be more comedy than a heist movie.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
There was going to, as like I said, did you think there was going to be more comedy in there than there was?
Not really. I didn't think there was. I didn't think there was like not enough comedy in there.
No, I'm saying, when you went in expectations, did you think there was going to be more comedy than there ended up being? Not that it didn't have enough, but was there? Did you expect it to have more?
No, because I thought it had exactly what I like. It had exactly what it was more of a comedy than the heist movie to me.
Okay.
It was more like it had those comedic aspects.
Back to the one where we were talking about. I don't think we're going to get the amount that Logan Lucky had of comedy.
It's going to be a little bit more serious.
A little bit more serious because it is Remy LeBeau, so there's going to be jokes in here or there, but it's not like he's a straight up comedic character. There's got to be the serious parts too because it's a heist movie. It's not going to be Logan Lucky where it's about these redneck brothers that decide to rob a bank. Well, not a bank. Decide to rob the NASCAR.
Yeah.
And then go back and, I mean, it was more funny than it was a heist movie. This one, maybe, I would give it maybe like a 50-50 kind of share the feeling of both. So it's going to have a little bit more serious. It's going to be, but it's going to have like the comedic parts that break it up. So it's not like, oh, this is too serious. This is too much of just a heist movie.
I want to ask you this because I am drawing a blank here. Which X-Men movie did we already see a Gambit in?
We saw it in Wolverine Origins.
It was Wolverine Origins?
He was Wolverine Origins.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Didn't Channing Tatum play him?
That I don't remember.
I don't think he did. But
I don't think it was Channing Tatum. It was no, it was someone else. It wasn't Channing Tatum. I will get the name up in just a second.
Because I asked you because I was going to pull up the IMDb to find out. No, it was the guy who played the villain in American Assassin.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
it was also definitely the guy who played, and I didn't catch this when we saw the film. He played Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights, a TV show that I like. So, my whole kind of comparison I was going to do is kind of shot at this point. But I was going to say, it'd be funny if Channing Tatum played Remy in the X-Men movie.
Yeah.
If it's like, Ryan Reynolds played Wade Wilson, they make him Deadpool. Channing Tatum played Gambit, they make him Gambit. But that didn't work because it was actually Taylor Kitsch who played Remy LeBeau. And
which I liked him as Remy, so.
The only thing I'm confused, and I'm not saying it's not going to work, just how everything was mapped out. So the beginning of the movie is going to be a slight just scene where he's in trial in New Orleans. So this is after the fact, after the heist, where it's kind of one of those where it's like, well, let me tell you how this job went wrong. But before that, let's flash back a couple years before that. And it's maybe Channing Tatum as Remy LeBeau kind of telling the story.
Yeah,
like he's the narrator. Like you're in the trial in New Orleans, which that's where the Mardi Gras thing, the whole heist happened. So obviously he got caught. Flashes back to everything, and it's kind of got a little Romeo and Juliet vibe
where
to
it starts off. Yeah, he's like, they all started back here.
Yeah, but it's got a little Romeo and Juliet vibe where it's like, hey, you know what? We fall in love. We're from two different families. Our families hate each other.
I didn't even notice that.
But I'm going to bring us together. I'm going to bring the families together. And of course, tragedy strikes when his father in LeBeau, because basically the guy who took him in, dies with all of that plan when it goes awry. The big thing I want to know is, what is Fox doing? What do you think Fox is doing big picture? Because we saw at the end of, it was one of the X-Men movies, the last one that we saw, when they go in to get the Weapon X, and it was, that's Mr. Sinister's company.
Yeah.
That's the Essex company. And then you have like they've already tied Deadpool into that universe just by the references that they make. What do you think they're doing by trying to tie Deadpool into it? Now it looks like through Mr. Sinister tying Gambit into that universe.
Honestly, it is a good way to tie them in because like right now, how else are you going to really do it? Mm-hmm. We don't have any other ones that are. I mean, we have the X-Men Apocalypse is the most recent one that had that scene in there that kind of like could tie it into. But I mean, I guess this is a good way to tie it in because he lost something he needs, probably along the lines of obtaining mutant DNA. That would be my guess. And he wants it back, or he just wants it. It may not even be his in the first place.
Do you think that's what's in the trunk? Something dealing with mutants in a way?
Yes, because before he became a mutant himself, he experimented with mutant DNA.
Okay.
Which is why he has and still had after he became a mutant an obsession with Scott and Jean Grey.
Okay.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how exactly they tie him in besides like what they gave us, because you said that's not set in stone yet, right?
No, well, it's just the only thing it says here is now Splash Report claims to have exclusive details on the new script. So it's basically Splash Report saying, hey, we got these exclusive details. And it's really one of those things where you look at it, it goes, how much do you want to take this to be 100% true?
Yeah.
Because the last news we heard about it, Channing Tatum said, yeah, they're rewriting the script. So this could even be a working theory and that they're going to do something a little bit different. Like this could change. This could modifyly change as we get forward, but this is what we have right now. Yeah, it's the most concrete thing we have for the Gambit movie.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Like I said, it's a good way to tie him in though, because you have the Essex Corp doing things. He's already set in the actual main universe where like Logan's kind of an offshoot way over here, like way into the future. Deadpool's kind of for the most part in his own right now. We had what 2 X-Men that aren't really in the main group.
Yeah, Teenage Mega Warhead and Colossus.
Yeah, so they're not really in the main group yet.
Well, that's why they're at the mansion, babysitting the mansion while everyone's off doing missions.
It's kind of weird that you have a big mansion for only a few people.
Oh, I love it. I love them taking shots at not being able to get more X-Men in the budget.
And then don't you like beast shit on my lawn again, okay? So I think it's we haven't tied him in yet, but this is a good way to tie this one in because he becomes a member of the X-Men.
Yeah.
So I mean, especially if like we have like, hey, he's in court in modern day, but like his thing happens like the 1980s or so. Kind of goes along the timeline of why he's not with the X-Men at that point.
Yeah, if you think about if we go modern day right now, because this next X-Men movie is supposed to take place in the 90s. So if it's modern day for
Remy.
them, so if it's 90s Remy, which was modern day for the universe, because they're in the 90s right now. 10 years ago would have been the Heist. So we had the Heist in the 80s.
Yeah.
25 years before that would have been what? That would have been the 60s, like mid-60s?
Something like that.
Would have been when all of that went down, mid-60s, early 70s. So kind of keeping to plan of like thinking about it where like First Class took place and where the Days of Future
they're kind of
Past
following
took
the
place.
timeline. So maybe like this.
Plus, there is think about this with Days of Future Past. Isn't there now a split or there's a theory of like a fractured timeline because of what happened?
Oh yeah, no, that's what X-Men. I mean, just look at the cartoons. That's what X-Men deals with is fractured timelines. So this one offshoots this way. Yeah. Something else happened down here. So this one goes this way. This one goes this way, and yada yada yada. But I feel like maybe the modern Remy isn't like 90s. Maybe he's like in the 2000s.
Okay.
I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it couldn't be the 90s.
So you're saying then Dark Phoenix Saga would play into that, where this is the modern day is technically happening after Dark Phoenix Saga, and then the two are kind of gonna collide.
Or
together.
maybe like you said, maybe it is the 90s, but like Remy is in court in like the 90s, and this is all like, well, this happened 80s, 70s. like, this is what happened when I was a kid. This is how I got into this, and this is how, like, this is the heist that got me here.
Yeah.
And like, maybe I would actually lean more towards doing it in the 90s. That way, like, shortly after he can join the X-Men.
Yeah.
Maybe like at the end at a cutscene, Xavier comes in and says, "Hey, you're being pardoned as long as you join us and help us do this stuff."
Because it would be interesting to and this is all what they're going to do. Are they going to try to set up an X-Men movie where Mr. Sinister's the big baddie?
That'd be nice.
Like, are they trying? Because the next X-Men movie they're doing is mainly focused on
Jean.
Like, there's going to be a villain in it, but it's mainly going to be Jean and what she's going
Dark
through
Phoenix
with the
stuff.
Phoenix. Yeah. And really, like, with X-Men, I don't really know what their overarching plan is.
Not yet. No, they haven't really.
I don't know if they know what their overarching plan is.
They may
either.
not.
I want to say they maybe do because they are throwing things in there like the after credit scenes that we've done, but they are also doing a great job where also with this Gambit film could be like Deadpool. Hey, same universe, but it's over here.
It's just happening over here.
It's just happening. This is a side story. You don't need to worry about this being in the main story.
It's like not everything connects 100%.
It's a side quest. Just think about it over here.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Is over here. Any final thoughts with this though? With the Gambit movie, you being the Marvel person, are you excited for this Gambit movie? Are you excited for Channing Tatum being Gambit in this movie?
As much as I would like the other guy, what was
the
his name?
original
Kish?
Taylor Kitsch, yeah.
Kitsch. As much as I would,
it's Kitsch is his last name.
That's why I thought it was Kish, but I could be wrong. As much as I would liked him to be Remy, because I liked him in as much as people.
He's a great actor. I loved him in Friday Night Lights as Tim Riggins.
Well, I mean, as much as people gave flack to Wolverine Origins, I thought he was a good Remy LeBeau in that one.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would have liked to see him further in that, but maybe there's something else. But Channing Tatum, I think, could do a good job in it. So we'll have to see what happens. He's probably going to get the more not modern, but the one we know better, the look for Remy LeBeau.
Yeah, and I mean the thing I can't wait, like in this movie, I can't wait for. This is me as like the outside like DC kid looking in.
Yeah,
I just want to see him throw cards.
Yeah,
that's all I want. Just the light up card, and just see him throw that card because that's the Gambit. That's the Gambit I know from the animated series.
Exactly.
It's just like going like this, and he's got the card out there and with the pink glow around the card, and it explodes. But this is where I want to turn it on to you guys now. Let us know down below, what do you guys think? What do you think of the heist theme that they're going with for Gambit? What do you think about the story, the kind of script details that we talked about? Let us know what you guys think. Are you excited for this film? Are you not excited for this film? Let us know down below in the comment section.